Have I seen it?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
How?
Because I know.
Very sure.
Whoa, Josh, what are you doing over there?
I'm panned. Or should I not do that then? Is
I don't
this
know.
is that better like that?
I don't know.
Is that a little fuller?
Does
Yeah.
that sound good, Brady?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that then.
This is Brady and Joe's podcast about them watching movies. Each episode they talk about the film the other chooses. They're not the worst. They're not the best. The Super Film Quest.
Oh, yeah. This music makes you want to, DJ a party or something. Hi, welcome to Super Film Quest. I'm Joe. That's Brady. That's Josh.
That's DJ Brady to you.
Oh, wow. Thanks for spinning these tunes today, Brady.
You're welcome.
So welcome to Super Film Quest. Each week we watch a movie, right? And this week it was Brady's choice. Brady, what movie did you pick?
The Legend of Boggy Creek
Whoa.
from 1972.
Yeah, I never heard of that before until you mentioned it. And I looked it up online, and then I still have never heard of it, really.
Yeah. I barely heard of it.
Why'd you pick it?
I don't remember where I came across it, but I did
You
at
have
one
to.
point, and I wrote it down that I wanted to see it, and that's why I picked it.
I want to narrow in on where you may have heard about it from. A friend, do you think?
What friend? What, are you insinuating that? Well, no, you said that you didn't hear
No.
of it.
Like, where when you first heard of this movie, I want to dig deeper.
It was somewhere on the internet, and the internet is
yeah.
vast. And,
Yeah.
you know, I poke around for movie stuff.
Okay.
And honestly, I don't know where I first heard of it.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Alright.
I knew generally what the premise was and stuff and what kind of film it was, and I thought it was different from anything we really watched yet. So that's one of the reasons why I picked it.
Should we do a recap of the movie? If you've never seen the movie, we're going to do a recap of it. Starting... Should we do it now?
Everybody be cool, this is
Super Film Quest movie recap.
any of you fucking pricks move! And I'll execute every motherfucking last one of you!
All right, let's do a recap of this movie. It starts off... how does it start off as a little boy running through a field?
No, we get 5 to 10 minutes of
God.
atmospheric shots of the creek and the wildlife in the creek and the sounds
Oh,
of the creek.
yes. What was with that? There was so much... Here's 5 minutes of the swamp. Yeah, it's the swamp. We get it. So we're showing the swamp, and then we see
They show you every inch of the swamp.
every last inch of the swamp. Here's the bubbly brooks of our swamp. Here's some frogs, branches. What else did we see? A litany of animals. There was a beaver. There was some birds and stuff.
Yeah,
Was
but
that
we
a
were
beaver?
being...
The beaver was swimming in it, right? Was that a beaver? It
A
looks
beaver or an
huge.
otter, I guess.
Oh,
Yeah.
was it? I thought it was one of those. What's those gigantic rats that are like
Those
half-
rodents that live in South America.
Yeah.
Oh, is that only in South America?
Yeah.
Oh, then it probably.
Well, I guess
it probably
this was
wasn't
kind of South America in Arkansas.
that. Yeah.
It is the southern part of America.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't like a giant mutant hamster, though.
All right, I'll disregard then.
All right, good. So then, after this big, huge swamp set up, we see a kid running through the field. And the kid runs through a field to the local pharmacy. He ran into a store. That's where, the old people were hanging out, drinking beers and getting haircuts and shit. I don't know what they were doing.
Haircuts.
Were they getting haircuts? Their shoes shined and stuff? I don't know. No, fishing bait. They were buying fishing bait. It's that kind of town.
And they were cutting their hair with it?
No, they weren't cutting their hair.
Oh.
I just misremembered it, I guess. But he goes in, he warns this old man, "Hey, Mr. Old Man, there's some sort of monster that's been stalking my property." And he's all like, "Ruff, ruff, 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 ruff." What does he mumble doing? What does
I
he
don't
gum?
know.
He gums something back without
The
any
kid
teeth.
was incoherent too. And it wasn't just any old man. I think it was the leader of the old men because there were at least 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, he had some lackeys cackling at what he said,
Yeah,
and
that's
it wasn't
true.
even funny. He's like, tell your mom not to worry. I'll be there later.
Yeah, a little creepy. Just drunk fishermen. So then it cuts to, where does it go from there?
Kid runs back. He runs to his destination and back from his destination with a purpose.
He does. He warns his family, right? Or no, he says the old man will be here to help us. I guess that's why he ran back. Why else did he run back?
Yeah.
And then
the narrator kicks in.
And then the movie begins.
I guess, yeah. Then the whole adventure begins. The narrator kicks in, and what does he say? He's all like, I used to live here. I remember this monster 35 years ago.
Yeah, when he heard the sound and everything and warned people. And then we got the intro credits, some more atmospheric shots of the creek.
More and more of that fucking creek.
We get some background of the town that he lives in,
Foulk,
Arkansas.
Yeah, we're introduced to the town of Foulk, Arkansas. And the narrator cannot hammer down how to say that word. He can't get it. Is it Foulk? Foulk? Folk? Foulk? Folk? They all sound wrong at this point. I've heard it
there was an L in
Foulk.
Foulk?
Folk. Like Marshall.
Falcon. Falk?
I'm thinking like Marshall Falk.
I think there was a U in it. Folk?
Like Keith Foulk. Remember
Foulk.
that baseball pitcher? He was on the Red Sox and the A's
Keith.
and the White Sox.
Are you saying Falk?
Foulk.
Yes. Fuck.
Falk.
Fuck.
Foulk.
Falk?
Fuck.
Fuck.
Arkansas, right?
Yes, Arkansas.
Yeah, right
we're
near Texas.
We're in Arkansas, right where Texas meets the other state, Louisiana, something like that.
So we're given an explanation of the town. It has 350 people when the narrator was growing up there, and it still does.
That
So,
means people
all right.
are born and then die.
At first, I had no idea where this place was, but then he said if you had ever driven from Shreveport to Texarkana, you
Yeah.
would have driven through Foulk. So without even knowing it, perhaps.
That's
So I guess
crazy.
I assume that's what happened on my many treks back and forth between those two cities.
That is true. I used to vacation there. The dam's beautiful there.
This movie probably wasn't good for tourism for Foulk either. I
No.
don't think many people were going. It's because they've got a...
They even threatened us at the
Yeah.
end. They're like, think this is bullshit? I welcome you to stay a night here in Foulk.
Come on
No,
down to
you
Foulk.
guys-
See if you survive.
You guys are missing the
'Cause
point.
I'm going to kill you, he says. No, what?
The monster was nice.
Yeah.
I didn't think you did anything wrong.
So we're recapping here. There's a
Oh, yeah.
There's a monster, right?
Yes.
I don't think we have to give every last painstaking detail. There's a
There's
monster.
a swamp monster.
Swamp monster.
We are introduced to many residents of the town that the narrator knows. He liked to really name drop a lot. Like we were supposed to know who these people were.
He did.
But and they
John
had
Crabtree.
their various experiences or accounts of the monsters, which there were many people, but most of them were I saw the monster, it looked at me, I tried to shoot it.
It scared me.
Yeah. And that wraps it up.
Yeah. And then they documented people coming in, like hunters coming in trying to find this monster.
Yeah.
They brought in their dogs, and all sorts of people were trying to find this monster. But at this point, the worst thing it's done is it scared a few people, and it scared a kitten to death. So the town got their like pitchforks and torches.
I think, and they used a real dead cat.
Yeah, it was a real dead
They
cat.
did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you know?
It looked real. It didn't look real to you?
Just because something looked real, it has to be real.
I don't know what kind of special effects teams they have down in Foulk.
Movie magic.
Foulk. You've never seen a dead cat before, Brady. Just admit it. You haven't lived.
You
until you've
stared
seen
into
a
the
dead
eyes
cat.
of a dead cat before?
Well,
Maybe
film,
it was CGI. I
film
don't know.
quest on the road. Let's go find a dead cat. Cuts to us driving in a car.
All right. So recap wise, that all happens, and then we get an account, a kind of an extended account of some family, or there was two couples that moved in to a house together to save money for rent or something.
Why are
And
they living together?
we get a long sequence where the monster's walking outside when the men are at work, and then a second one where the men come back and they have to go to the landlord and eventually get the sheriff, and then they eventually have an altercation on the porch with the monster. The monster gets shot, and one of the guys goes crazy and plows through the front door.
He jumps head first through the front door. What?
And he goes into shock. They have to take him to the hospital. He quickly recovers, and then they leave the town never to come back.
Yeah.
And then the narrator kind of wraps it up. We actually see the narrator through the field at the field where he was
Finally,
running
they showed
through
him.
as a boy, and his house has been long abandoned. And he comes back, and he kind of misses the monster, and that
You think he misses the monster? Why?
he said he misses it.
But
He kind of misses it,
Oh, yeah. All right. I'm sorry. Carry on.
and it reminds him that there's wilderness and mystery in life and everything like that, and that's where it closes. And we're greeted by a delightful song that was also played earlier in the movie.
Josh, you think we could play that by the end of this podcast?
Yeah, I'll get it for us. No problem.
All right. Somehow we'll figure it out. What did you think of your choice, Brady?
I liked it. I liked it for what it was. I thought there was enough like bad parts to laugh at it, but I also thought it was a pretty coherent movie, and it was low budget. It was made in the 70s, but
Yeah.
I thought it was very earnest, I guess, and I liked a lot of parts about it. The only part that really dragged for me was that sequence that we were talking about where the couples ran, or they didn't run into the house to live there. They lived in the house, and then they had that whole altercation with the monster, I guess. I thought that was kind of a little goofy and didn't really fit the tone of the movie, and that's where like the budget limitations really were obvious. But other than that, I thought it was pretty decent.
What you expected?
Yeah, for the most part.
Okay. I'd say not really what I expected. Were you going for like the kind of campy, like the so bad it's funny kind of pick? Is that where you're going? Like the Sharknado? The Sharknado pick here?
No. I didn't think it was going to be a disaster. I was thinking it was, low budget. There was some stuff probably to laugh at or criticize from that aspect, but I wanted to view it as like an ultra low budget. And from reading about it, I heard that, or I got the impression that it was kind of like a passion project from this one guy.
Who?
And the
Some
director.
Swamp creep?
Yeah.
What was his passion?
To make the film and tell the story.
Is this just like a story that actually travels around Foulk?
He presented it that way.
Foulk? Or is it like the Blair Witch Project? What am I watching here? Is this real?
He presents it as a true story, but I don't think it was meant to fool the viewer, because it wasn't presented as a found footage, because there were cuts.
True.
And in the beginning it says it's a true story, and it admits that it was basically a reenactment. It was reenacted by most of the
kind of like
people who have seen it.
It's like a Discovery Channel reenactment.
Kind of.
Okay. Yeah. Like when I say it's not what I expected, I don't really know what I was expecting, though. I don't think. Oh, what's this? Is this
Setting the boggy tone for us.
Oh, where'd you find this?
That's on the internet.
Oh, wow.
This is the boggy tone. So
Oh, what the fuck is that?
that's the monster. That's the monster yelling.
If you've never been to Foulk, if you don't believe us, come on down to Foulk yourself.
This is where the story plays.
Oh, this is the
world
song.
on which we seldom gaze. Page from the book of yesterday. Birds and beasts and wind and water. Here beneath the bright blue sky.
What a fucking miserable town. Jesus Christ, those people.
This is a passion project right here. You hear this song? It's a passion
breathe
project.
and live and die.
I think this is the same song. There's no way it's the same song, right? It switches. I like this one better, I think.
It's got a nice upbeat. It's more upbeat
Do
than
they
the
sing?
town of Foulk.
They don't sing? Monster in the woods makes me hurt so good. That's my lyrics to that song. My thoughts on the movie.
Yeah.
May I?
Yeah.
I wanted to hate it. I actually watched it. This is my second time watching it. I watched it in the beginning of the week. And then you guys came over right before the podcast. We all watched it together. So I actually wanted to hate it. The first time around, I was like, what is this? But then, the second time around, I kind of saw it as something different. I was looking for the funny parts that I remember from the first time, and I kind of viewed it as something differently. I viewed it as more of like a passion project, you know?
Why is that so weird to say?
What was his passion? Fucking the creek or the story?
What are you
Telling the
talking about?
story?
Like, why would he make a movie about his town and this legend and this story, tie it in with his childhood, try to
Okay.
make it all meaningful at the end
Wait.
and tie it together?
You think the narrator's the guy making the movie?
Yeah.
Oh,
Why wouldn't it be?
Yeah, this seems like someone's life's work.
Oh, I feel like that was
just a miserable.
I felt like that was
life.
an actor.
Oh God.
I felt like
No,
that guy.
I don't think so.
That main character
And
is an actor.
he
And I read that he like borrowed the money to budget the movie himself.
He
So
stole the money.
I don't think like it's an outrageous thing to say about it, or
He stole the money from that monster's lair, his evil woodland lair.
The monster, he wasn't even bad.
Didn't do anything. He
He
scared
didn't do
people.
anything to people. He would just be walking in the woods.
As the movie progressed, he was fine being in the woods. And then he wanted to get a little closer to humans. And the narrator's like, he just couldn't stay away from the city life like a moth towards a flame. Like, what? Like, oh, yeah, he wanted the bright lights of Foulk, Arkansas. Yeah. I gotta settle down and have kids. Yeah, is that what he means? Or is he just drawn towards the lights, like the literal lights?
well, what do you want?
What a
What do you
stupid
want me
question.
to say? Like, I think I don't. Am I just gonna sit here defending this movie? Like, I thought, like
Oh,
from a
no.
narrative standpoint, like it was pretty coherent what they
It was.
portrayed the monster as
I
and
like-
his motives. And from the very
Okay,
beginning, they
all right.
identified like his cries as being lonely, and
I feel like they were out to get
they
him.
tried to explain what his motivations were, and yeah, and like you said, like they never had the monster like really attacking until maybe the very end.
It seemed
but
a little.
he had gone through a bunch of shit by then.
They shot him. They shot him like 6 times.
And
at
every
that point.
chance they got him, they shot him.
Yeah, what'd he do? He stepped
every
on their
chance they
pot
got
one
to.
time when he was creeping in their window.
He killed a
just wanted
kitten.
to see what it was like
What
inside.
you watching on TV?
Yeah.
He's thinking. I forgot what I was going to say. I was going to say something about the monster, which is a good thing because he's a major part of the movie.
And he has 3 toes.
He scared people. He must have looked real scary. We never saw his face, but anyone that did see his face shrieked like they saw like the way they died inside his eyes. Like it was just the scariest thing ever.
And
The
I think
souls of
Them
thousands.
screaming. This is when I say,
What's this? Is this from the movie? And it's clips like this where he's trying to come in the house, I guess, right now.
yeah. And their dad just jumps through the door like an idiot.
Oh, that was him jumping through the door. I saw
Yeah.
it. I saw it on your phone. Sweet.
They're
do
in
you
the
need
woods.
any toilet paper?
Yeah. Toilet paper salesman. Exterminator. He was just a hairy dude. I don't know what is there to talk about with this movie. I don't really have any talking points. I wasn't against it. I'm sorry. Though I felt like it was a little exploitation-y towards the monster. They're really painting him in a pretty bad light.
I assume that he was listed in the credits and he got paid.
What if you were the monster's family and you saw this?
No, he doesn't have family. He's lonely.
We killed his family, probably. We
Scared him to death.
stole his land in Foulk. We stole his swampland. We killed his family. And now he doesn't even want revenge. He just wants to be one of us.
What about the way the monster was portrayed? You said that like we never really saw his face, and like people acted like he was scared to death.
Yeah.
Scared to death when they saw it.
Yeah,
So what do you
super scary.
what do you think of how the monster was portrayed in the movie?
Like I said, I felt it was very exploitation-y.
Wait, so you're offended for the monster personally?
Yes.
So-
That's basically what I'm getting at.
So you totally bought into the fact that it was true and everything was real.
I guess at that point I make the leap then. I make the leap to believe the narrator that I was so mad at before.
Why are you mad at him?
I don't know. Maybe I'm not anymore. Maybe he hooked me in.
Okay.
It's like, I'm like, dude, wrestling sucks. It's so stupid. And then I'm like, oh my God, I love it.
See,
Something happened.
Your progression towards appreciating him mirrors the narrator's progression towards the monster, because he's scared of it as a little kid, but then as he grows up, he
kind of grows to
kind of
love him.
Yeah, he loves the monster. He loves the mythos behind the monster.
Wow, he fell in love with the mythos.
Did I use that word correctly?
Like the lore,
mythos,
the folklore.
Did I say it? You're an English guy.
My name is.
How do you spell it?
Mythos.
Mythos.
I don't know.
Hello, my name is Mythos.
Oh God.
My Mythos. Hello.
I thought the way he handled the monster was pretty good. Like, and before I go any further,
Yeah.
I thought with this movie, it's obviously dated, it's obviously low budget,
Yeah.
but I'm coming from the perspective where I thought that the director did a pretty good job
Okay.
with what he had to work with and how he told the story and everything. And I didn't think it was that bad. I thought the goofy stuff that, we could laugh at or joke about is mostly because of the budget, or like I said, this is an older movie. And it was made about some weird people.
Yeah. And like me getting uppity about it, that's just me being too serious about it. I should take it for what it is, and I'll enjoy it more, I think. A real life exploitation film.
Because I liked it. Like, I wasn't scared by it. I feel like maybe, if I was younger and this was the 70s, I think maybe I would be scared by it. I think it's not cheesy either, the way they handled the monster. I was kind of impressed in how he showed restraint in terms of only showing it far away, right? We never saw like its face or anything.
Yeah, kind of classy.
Yeah, anything close up was quick cuts, so any like shortcomings in terms of the budget and how the monster looked, he avoided that. So
okay, I kind of wonder if it was 1972, would I really be afraid of this? Like at what age? If I was like 15 in 1972. Like Psycho came out in 1960. Psycho's pretty scary, right?
Yeah.
At the time, yeah.
Night of the Living Dead, Rosemary's Baby, The Birds. Are any of these like actually scarier than that movie? Probably not.
Yeah. Well, nah. I think. There wasn't anything scary about this to me. I don't even think back then this movie would scare me.
No, you don't think? No. If you were like 12 and like saw it on like Showtime at night. I was looking for boobs on Showtime. I was looking for swamp monsters.
I mean, it's a funny story. It's goofy, but if you're looking for a good movie, it's not like a super fun movie to watch. I wouldn't be like, guys, you're never gonna guess what we're gonna do today. I ordered pizza and we're gonna watch The Legend of Boggy Creek.
I just scream like I'm on
crazy.
TRL.
Yeah.
It's the best day of my life. So yeah.
Like The Godfather came out in 1972.
Did it?
Yeah, this movie came out in 1972. He must have been using a camera from 1962 to make this movie.
Probably.
I think he had to crank it.
It was pretty. The camera's like super glowing hot at the end. Wow. It's not shot well.
I thought it was shot well, considering the budget and the age of the movie.
Okay.
I thought it was pretty good, honestly. Like, we were watching a VHS copy on YouTube.
Yeah.
So I mean, what?
Yeah, fair enough.
I thought it was actually. I thought he did a good job with the budget and
That's true.
what it was.
Okay.
I've seen films that looked worse. I thought Clerks looked worse, to put it in. To use an example of a movie that pretty much I think we all saw and a lot of people
If
have
we were to
seen.
watch a VHS of Clerks on YouTube, it would probably look just like that.
Probably.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Dante would probably look just like the monster.
Just covered in hair.
Why is that monster playing hockey on the roof of the convenience store?
It had like some Night of the Living Dead kind of shot setups, like inside the house, where the sofa is framed right there, and someone's sitting on the sofa, and two people are standing behind him, and they're both kind of like set up like a play.
Yeah.
And the close-up of the guy's face when he's shooting when he's shooting the shotgun, and you just hear the bang off screen.
Like every person in this movie, they could hear the monster outside. They was like, "Wait, shh, wait, do you guys hear that outside? Something's breathing in my yard." What? Did he have like severe asthma? This monster?
I liked the best part was we get all these accounts from these guys who are like, "Oh my God, I heard the monster. I saw the monster. He looked at me, and I fired at him." And then we go to Herb, the hermit, who likes his privacy and basically has no contact with any other human, so he doesn't like hear these stories, or he's not involved in passing this back and forth and building like the mythology or the legacy of this monster. He's like, "I've heard about it, but I've never seen it. This monster doesn't exist. Let me smoke my tobacco and shut up."
He's a man who likes to be alone.
He's a man who likes his privacy.
Who likes his privacy. That's what the narrator
he literally lived on a wood fucking shack on a pile of sand in the middle of the fucking bog. Like a small island that could not have been 10 feet by 10 feet wide.
People always ask me, "Why don't you move and live somewhere else?" And I said, "I like it here. I wouldn't like it anywhere else any better."
He takes the monster like head on.
What?
Nothing.
Oh, the story of the monster.
Yeah. He doesn't believe it though, I guess that's why.
Yeah.
But
I like that they put that in there.
Yeah. I like how the movie kind of set up like a Rescue 911 episode where how it was just like 4 or 5 different stories. But it's like if Rescue 911 covered all stuck in a tree stories tonight or something, that these are all, and this family was so scared by the monster they called the police.
Like when Cops does like Bad Girls Gone Wild Cops or something.
Just a theme going through it, and it's all different stories, but these would all be related to the same monster. The Jenkins family, they were doing this. It was a quiet afternoon on the sunny swamp. Swamp. It was the swampiest movie I've seen in quite some time.
Were there enough shots of the swamp for your liking?
I would like there to be more, because I'm trying to record something for my new screensaver on my computer. And I need around 3 hours of swamps and leaves. And sometimes leaves that they zoom in real close, and then they zoom out, and then they make it blurry. Just some guy fucking with like learning how to use the camera. It's like, "Oh, we should use these for some setup shots."
He probably rented it from the library.
Oh my God, yeah.
And he spent 3 days zooming in and out and focusing on bark, leaves, and some water.
Sometimes animals.
Yeah, if he could. Yeah, he caught that beaver. He had a nice beaver shot in the beginning.
Oh, sweet beaver shot.
Yeah.
The amount of fucking animal sounds in this movie.
Ugh.
Like every time they showed the swamp, you hear like, was that a lamb, a sheep, a goat, fucking bird, cows, dogs? There's like dogs barking through the whole movie. I feel like. Is that just me, or do I just always hear dogs barking in my head?
You really felt like you were in the bog,
really
though.
Yeah, I guess. You think it's that noisy when you're out there on the water? You just hear echoes from all over Foulk.
How long do you think this movie would have been if they didn't have all of those just ridiculously long?
14 minutes.
Probably, right?
I actually have to say, the first time I watched this movie was by myself. And on YouTube, you can make the video go faster. And a couple times, I actually made it go like 1.5 times faster, or actually 2 times faster. But 2 times faster, I couldn't understand them when they spoke. The lines start to get like overlapped and stuff.
Did Foulk look like a bustling city in that version?
No, it's still just headlights and wow, sexy 80s horns. I don't know. But like the scene where like the kid's running through the woods with the gun, it's like, and that music was going like super fast. So I kind of fast forwarded through a lot of those shots, and
So you turned it into the Legend of Benny Hill?
Yeah, not all the time though. I didn't like watch it and laugh. Look how fast they're moving. No, I just kind of sped through some of those setup shots. I'm sorry. I defaced this movie, didn't I? Guys?
I don't know. It was kind of sloppy,
Guys.
and I could have fast forwarded or had the entire last sequence cut out with those, with the monster like walking around the house and terrorizing the people or whatever.
That was the best.
I didn't.
That was the payoff. It's
Why didn't
finally
you-
like, all right, it's humans versus monsters. They're gonna have it out right now.
Why didn't you like that?
Because I don't know, the movie wasn't building towards some big showdown between the people or anything, and I thought that is where the deficiencies in the budget, you want to call it that,
Okay.
or like the shortcomings in terms of how much money they had for this movie kind of were apparent there more
Okay.
than anywhere else.
Sure.
And I didn't think the film needed it, honestly. From where everything that was building with this, it was that people saw this monster, from a distance, and then it was based on these stories that people told, and the monster was apparently nice and didn't attack, and all that. The end felt out of place, and that's honestly where I was kind of bored with it.
Okay.
You wanted to watch Harry and the Hendersons. You picked the wrong movie. You just described Harry and the Hendersons.
What do you mean?
He's the monster, and everyone thinks he's bad, but he's really good. And then he runs in the house with the family.
Yeah, well, they address his motivations directly in the narration.
Yeah,
And they pointed out multiple times.
You didn't
You
want
want-
him to like join the family though. It's not what he wanted.
he didn't want it. He just wanted the lore to be there, and not the. It's like when you see a monster in a movie and it doesn't scare you. It's not seeing the monster that makes it scarier.
Like the movie Jaws.
Yeah,
They wanted to show the shark a lot. That's what I wanted to say before. They wanted to show the shark a lot on Jaws, but they had a problem with the animatronic thing, so they didn't show Jaws nearly as much as they wanted to. They'd only show him like just sticking his head out of the water and stuff. And I think initially they wanted to show him a lot more, but if they were to show him a lot more, it would take away so much of what's scary about the first scene in Jaws.
yeah.
The girl's just floating there and just getting tugged under.
Is that what you meant, Brady?
No,
Ah, shit.
because
What is your...
because Jaws was already killing people.
No,
throughout the
no,
movie.
Yes,
the
no.
cinematography of Jaws.
No, we're just
What?
Like the cinematography of Jaws. They didn't, or like the choice to not show Jaws that much.
Yeah, but that built up to the part where you're going to see Jaws at the end, and that whole thing made sense when he attacks them on the boat
So
and
you
they
just
have the
didn't
big
want to
showdown.
see. You didn't want to see the monster at all. I wanted to see the monster the whole time. He just looked like.
Well, we already did see the monster, but we
Yeah,
didn't need that whole
kinda.
sequence and that showdown, and it lasted way too long. I don't understand what it was.
We
I
didn't
guess
see
it
the
was,
monster. We saw the monster's like shoulder and his leg.
Well, there was too much of the build-up, and is he going to attack these people? And he went on the porch. That whole thing, I just thought it was unnecessary. And I
Yeah.
didn't like that part.
Okay.
And I thought it was kind of out of place with the rest of the film and the tone that they were trying to establish.
Yeah, because part of what supported that tone was not seeing the monster and like is it real? Is it all in our imagination?
Yeah. Plus, I didn't want Herb to be wrong. I thought Herb was right.
Really?
This whole thing is bullshit.
There is a sequel. I wonder if Herb's involved. The Legend of Boggy Creek 2. I told you so.
Well, it's him just sitting down podcast style, just picking apart the first movie
Oh my
and
God,
how
we should-
everything's wrong.
We should find that actor. Like there's people that made that movie about a Troll 2.
They made a movie about it?
Yeah. And
What
like
is the movie about?
and they track down the actors and stuff.
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
bet they're all doing well.
They're all like regular or less than regular people.
Is
Are they happy
is
or
it
sad?
seriously bad? I haven't
They're all-
seen Troll 2.
They're all unrelated to the movie. They're all pretty sad.
Oh.
It seems like they're all pretty sad individuals.
Oh God.
One guy's like signs on his house that say like, "Stay off. Violators will be shot" and stuff.
Oh, really?
So he doesn't actually shoot them when they come to the door, though.
Troll
Those-
2 is amazingly bad.
Yeah,
It's.
that's what I
considered-
was expecting from this. Something like Troll 2 or Sharknado.
Yeah, I didn't pick it because I thought it was going to be that. It was about what I thought it was going to be, and I thought it was competent. That's the thing. I didn't expect incompetence or something outrageously ridiculous
You
like
should-
Troll 2. Troll 2 was
Always expecting competence.
insanely bad, and there were no trolls in it.
No, there were goblins of sort.
Yeah,
There's some sort of monstery things.
yeah, and they live in the town called Nilbog.
Nilbog, which is goblin backwards.
Yeah.
I actually had to do it in my head. Which is Gonbiln? Goblin! Yeah, that is weird. That's stupid.
That's a fucking terrible idea.
We're getting off track, though.
Oh, okay.
That's usually when I'm like, we should do a side quest.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
Want to do a side quest?
Side quest.
Ooh, you kind of hissed that at us. Side quest. This is our side quest. Every episode, we get off track and we ask a question. This music's pretty ridiculous. Welcome to Side Quest! Big Happy Super Side Quest now! You like movie? We like movie too! Today we ask questions about... so we ask a movie. We ask questions. Just some kind of question. I'm going to ask Brady and Josh a question. It's not really about the movie.
Okay.
Well, it is kind of more about the movie than usual. I'm going to ask you. I have 5 words that I've chosen, or they're kind of words. Some are kind of hyphenated phrases, but I have 5 phrases of me describing this movie. But you could also use these phrases to describe food.
Okay.
And I'll give you 1 minute, 1 American minute.
So we have to guess the words or phrases that you use, but they can also be used to describe food.
Yes.
Okay.
And to the winner goes the spoils.
Yes.
Yeah.
The spoils.
And you'll get my spoiled eggnog out of my refrigerator.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So time begins. Red team ready? Blue
Wait,
team ready?
What do we do? Just scream it out?
Gladiators ready? Yeah, just yell it out.
Yes.
You don't have to yell. And go, I guess. We don't.
Go.
Yeah, go.
Rancid, putrid, spoiled, unsavory, unappetizing.
Unsavory.
Salty?
No salty.
No.
Unsavory, you gotta keep going. I'm sorry.
Uninspired.
Moldy?
No, no.
Putrid. Did
Nope.
I say that?
You said putrid.
Bland?
No. Bland. No bland. Think more a deer meat, like a.
Gamey.
It's
Gamey, yes,
Thigh.
okay.
That
Thigh.
movie was. It did. It made my eyes feel.
No,
gamey.
you guys are a team though. You don't have to fight each other.
Oh, good.
How about like the texture of it? Was it
Oh, grainy.
Creamy.
Was it something
No,
like?
it was like beans. Like beans don't taste like they look. Was it like that kind of feeling? Like
Kind of.
Mushy.
Close. We're close.
Okay.
Smushy.
Close.
Slimy.
No, close. Warmer. Wetter. Think wetter.
Oh, sloppy.
Wet.
Sloppy Joe.
Less wet.
Slippy.
Pudding-like
Shit.
texture.
Sloppy. Kind of.
Tapioca.
Putting like inside.
Viscousy?
Inside something. Viscousy. No.
God.
Oh, that would be good. Though. All right, guys. Here are my words. You got unsavory, and you got gamey. Soggy. That's the wet
Oh,
word.
soggy.
Or southern fried. Southern fried. I was going to be southern inspired, but southern fried. So it's an unsavory, gamey, soggy, southern fried. The last one, you guys didn't. You were close, but the last one was Gatorade bottle full of piss.
Oh yeah, that guy. The guy that likes his
Yeah, and
privacy.
Herb.
The guy Herb in the movie who likes his privacy. There's a point. We should have included this in the recap. That there's a point where we're introduced to him, and he has all these bottles hanging in a tree, and it looks like he collects his piss in bottles and hangs them on a tree.
And the only way to get to his house is by fucking rowboat.
So you have to drive past the piss bottles.
Yeah.
Or row past them. See all my piss? That's to keep the hairy thing away.
Travis Crabtree liked his visits to Herbs where he could row past the piss bottles.
So you guys were never going to get Gatorade bottle full of piss. I'm sorry I did that.
We could have.
Everyone got a nice backstory. It wasn't. They didn't like just hey, this is Timmy and he's going to this house. Hey, this is Timmy. Every morning Timmy wakes up and he goes down to Boggy Creek. On his way to Boggy Creek, he picks up some coffee and tobacco for when he's going to visit Herb. He visits Herb every Sunday. Look, he's visiting Herb now. And Herb's like, watch out for the pee bottles.
Josh is pretty good at that.
Yeah. I think the sad thing is that was everyone's entire story. There was literally nothing else.
Everyone at Boggy Creek.
If there was more to their story, he would have included it and cut out some of the atmosphere shots.
Here in Boggy Creek, we have nothing much to do but enjoy the thicketed forests
Thick he needed a
and
whistle.
wash our feet in the crisp, cool waters.
Oh, yeah.
Foulk.
Where the story plays, a world on which we seldom gaze.
beautiful.
Page from the book of yesterdays, birds and beast and wind and water. Here beneath the
I like that part.
bright blue
The
sky.
wind and water.
One guy shot the fucking monster for washing his feet in the water.
He wasn't mad about him washing his feet.
He was just mad because he was a monster living in the quiet town of Foulk.
Foulk.
Fish have to drink that. That's disgusting.
That's true. All the fish die. It's that stank monster foot again. Get him out of Arkansas. We felt like watching the movie that the monster just wanted like a pretty little girlfriend. He was kind of into like, I'm going to find all the girls. I'm going to terrorize the girls.
Yeah, at one point they say something weird, like sexually weird about the monster. It came off sexual to me.
Really?
Oh, when
Yeah.
they
I don't remember that.
One guy was so afraid, so scared by the monster, he was like in shock. And then the narrator said when they couldn't arouse him from his state of shock, then they did something. Like when you can't arouse someone, what do you do? Josh and Brady, what would you guys know about that? I've never been able to not arouse someone before.
I don't know. I
What's it
figure if I pissed in a Gatorade bottle, then everything would be cured.
That gets your stink out.
Just keep the teenagers from rowing down the Boggy Creek and getting arousals. Drive by my house.
Just to keep all the arousals away.
People always ask me, Herb, why aren't you aroused?
That's why the monster don't come after me. I don't get aroused.
Yes. On account of all this piss around here, it's the pheromones, the doctor said. Doctor said to surround myself with my own pheromones as much as I can. You just see my pile of shit out back. Yep.
Oh, Herb.
Herb, he likes to, what is he? He likes his privacy.
I like
This is
three
where
things.
The story goes.
Living in the bog, smoking tobacco, and when old Jimmy comes over on Sunday and has coffee with me. Other than that, keep your arousals away from my fucking house.
Now get the fuck off my lawn, Crabtree. Coffee time's over.
He mushes his way back into the bog. The dude lives on wet sand. A shack on wet sand.
I'm surprised no one had one of like those big fan boat things, like the bayou. Like a bayou boat.
Hovercraft?
Yeah, that would have been
Oh,
sweet.
yeah, it is a swamp.
No one had them. I mean, that's for the richer folk.
That wasn't in the budget.
It's not for folk.
It's probably for the owners of the cafes.
It's for them Texarkana people. Or
Tex-
what is it?
Yeah, Texarkana.
Texarkana.
Seeing the sign and seeing it written out,
Yeah.
that's the first time I realized that it's a mix of Texas and Arkansas. It makes a lot of sense, right?
What about the Anna at the end?
Yeah, it's just the S is left off.
Texarkana. Arkansas. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
like Arkansas.
Arkansas is your Kansas. This is where the story goes. Something in the river washing his toes. In the funky water.
Well, at least we know what your movie pick is going to be next week.
What?
Return the Boggy Creek.
No, I couldn't.
Herb's Revenge. I keep calling him Herb instead of Herb.
Herb. The finest herbs and spices
Hey, yo,
Foulk
what up?
County has to offer.
Yo, this is my man Herb.
I have a feeling he doesn't cook with a lot of those.
Well, I'm pretty sure Herb just eats cans of beans.
And tobacco.
Cans of beans and tobacco.
He tries to swallow the smoke rather than breathe it in.
Oh, hey, Crabtree, did you bring the beans?
I really love this song.
So,
Music wasn't bad for this. I mean, they probably got guys straight out of Foulk to
the
make
music came in like halfway through the movie, though.
I know. It was decent. I
This
don't know why
almost-
they went so upbeat. Were they trying to make a scary movie, or was this just like supposed to be like a bedtime story? I think he was.
Yeah, I don't think it was supposed to be a scary movie.
Oh, there's more of the song? We kind of cut it off earlier before. I like it.
It's really good.
Are you guys
It goes
dancing?
on for 6 minutes, and this is the end of the movie, and it's just showing pictures of trees and shit. It's peaceful.
Is it okay if I beatbox to it? Is that bad? Just a light beatbox.
Hear the
Oh,
salt river
it is the song. The same song.
rising when the storm cloud blows.
Oh, yeah.
And this is where the creature goes.
Creature.
Safe within a world he knows.
I bet you that whoever the maker of this movie also wrote this song and is performing.
I was thinking it sounds like him.
It was a labor of love.
Passion Project.
Passion project.
Where he searches.
The Lonely Cry. It should be called.
This, of course, nobody knows. But once you've heard his lonely cry,
Oh,
you
my.
can guess the reason why.
Oh, my
For whether
God.
he's a beast or man, what drives him wandering across the land,
His lonely
his
cry.
love for others of his clan, a loneliness he cannot stand. Perhaps
He just assumes that this monster is lonely. Maybe he's just a vicious fucking killer.
It doesn't attack.
That's his
It
own.
attacked the guy at the end.
That is his own
Because
loneliness
he got
coming out.
shot.
Yeah, I think he's projecting his own sadness.
He
Maybe
just-
the monster is within him or something.
There's a little bit of that Soggy Creek monster in all of us. Maybe it's him. It's him in the woods. This narrator. And we see all these stories with a monster in place. What if it's him? Comes back 35 years. How convenient. The monster hasn't been here in 35 years either.
Wow, holy crap.
Maybe
Wow.
the monster is back in Foulk.
You cracked
Foulk.
this open like an egg. Damn, I didn't even think about that.
Soggy Creek 2. Or what's it called? Boggy Creek 2.
Soggy Creek.
Let's get soggy.
Let's get soggy.
Let's get squishy.
Well, the narrator has to stop watching guys take a dump.
Yeah, what was that all about?
That was part of the reenactment. You know, there are lines between when it's the narrator's scenes and then the reenactments. It all
Yeah.
started off with Billy taking a dump. I remember it like it was yesterday. Smelled like beefaroni and didn't have
Ew.
beefaroni. Smelled like Herb's beans. Smelled like old Herb's beans before he cooks them.
Oh my God! I hope Herb
or
at
while he
least
cooks
washes
them.
his feet.
You
He'd
think?
cook them up by the gallon. You
What?
could smell those beans cooking square 5 miles away from old Herb's house in the bog.
I used to go to Herb's house once a week to wash his feet.
We'd
The
go
pay-
to
the pay-
Herb's house for coffee. He wouldn't let us in, but he always let Jimmy in. Never gave him coffee. Dumped beans in his cup.
The pay wasn't all that good, but the beans were okay. And his feet were the cleanest they'd be all week. This is where the story goes. It's something, something no one knows. In the boggy water. Yeah, we're going to spend most of the podcast on that.
All right, so I guess I'd never watch it again. I'm never.
I saw it twice!
Why
I'm
would
not
you watch
gonna watch it again,
No,
but
there's no reason to ever watch that twice.
Well, thanks for bringing it up, though, Brady. Thanks for bringing it to our attention. I had no clue what it was. Were you pleased with your selection?
yeah, I
If
was.
you could do it all over
I
again,
was
would
pretty
you do it?
pleased. Yeah.
All right, good.
I wouldn't mind seeing a palate cleanser after that one.
Oh, palate cleanser? I don't know
Yeah.
if mine is. Mine's kind of a mind fuck, too.
Oh, okay. Well, this is your film quest.
Should I-
am but your minion.
We should get Josh a pick soon. Would you want to do a pick?
We never even discussed that.
No, I don't want to do a pick.
You don't want to
Why?
do a pick?
Because I'd rather just be forced to watch whatever you're.
What if you
making me
pick
watch.
between like one or two? If I present a palette of different choices,
That's a pretty
to you,
good idea.
You're like,
Maybe we could do
or
that.
like a horse. You're gonna stomp your foot a couple times if you want.
Like
He
Clever
stomp-
Hans.
He stomps his foot 3 times. Clever
Did you
Hans?
know
Who's
that-
Clever Hans?
He was the horse that could add or subtract.
Oh,
But
Jenko.
did you know what happened behind that? They figured out that the horse would just react to people's reactions, so he could tell when people expected him to stop stomping.
Really?
Yeah, because the people would have the right answer in their head, and they would like look for it, and then Clever Hans would stop. and everybody would be like, "Wow, you
Was he
could
on-
multiply Clever Hans." I think his name was Clever Hans.
67, 68,
Yeah.
69, 70.
Fuck. 69.
What?
Foulk.
Foulk.
Foulk, it's pronounced.
Oh, sorry.
Foulk, Arkansas. Arkansas. Yeah, fuck Arkansas. Just
Their
kidding.
main export is depression and wet sand
Shame. Wet shame.
and legends.
Oh, no.
Boggy noises.
Do you guys believe in Sasquatch and aliens and stuff?
No.
No, not at all.
No.
Mermaids? Do you believe in mermaids?
No.
I kind of want to believe in Sasquatches just because it's kind of hilarious.
Well, Sasquatches have 5 toes. The Boggy Creek monster has 3.
Yeah. And that
I
kid, like,
picture-
can we talk about how that kid was out hunting with his dad, who was the biggest sissy in the whole movie?
I know
Maybe
that was
in
his
the town.
dad. Was it his dad?
I don't know, but the kid's like, look, I found the footprint of this monster. And the guy's like, don't worry about it. And then the monster comes and terrorizes his house. And the dad can do nothing but run through the door. His
Head
defenders,
first.
yeah. Luckily, those guys randomly showed up to their house at 9 o'clock at night with shotguns.
That was the same guy who went in the shock?
Yeah.
Oh, what an idiot.
That's a rough weekend for him. Yeah, luckily the town rifleman showed up. You all got a varmint problem here?
And they hear something outside, and the dad just tells the kid to go round up all the kids. So the kid's running through the house, grabbing the babies and bringing them to the living room. The dad's just sitting there cowering.
There was like 1 million babies in that house,
Mhm.
too.
That's how they do it in Foulk.
Falk.
Thicketed forests,
Thicketed forest.
big families,
Forest.
and
Forest
thicketed
is-
forests.
Forest. Thicketed. Well, it's probably going to be the most thicketed movie we watch on Super Film Quest. I chose the movie Frank. 2014, it came out. John, a young wannabe musician, discovers he's bitten off more than he can chew when he joins an eccentric pop band led by the mysterious and enigmatic Frank. It's the movie where the guy wears the big doll head on his head.
Oh, okay.
It stars Michael Fassbender, Domhnall Gleeson, Domhnall Gleeson.
He's going to be in the new Star Wars, so I'm glad.
Is he?
Yeah.
He's in Harry Potter.
I know. And now he's going to be in Star Wars.
Wow.
There has been an awakening.
He needs to be in The Matrix, and then he's in all the best series.
The Matrix is the best series.
Or no, Harry Potter, Star Wars, The
You're
Matrix.
putting the Matrix in with Star Wars and Harry Potter?
Would you put Harry Potter in with Star Wars? You can't do that, can you?
I guess you could make
I'm just
you
kidding.
could make an argument, I suppose.
So yeah, I chose the movie Frank. What you guys think?
Sounds great.
Cool. We're gonna watch it.
Directed by who?
Directed by Lenny Abrahamson. How would you pronounce Abrahamson?
Abramson.
Lenny Abramson. It's directed by Lenny Abramson. The music's gonna be
This is where the story
The music's gonna be there. I won't be able to edit it.
World of which we seldom gaze.
good, less editing.
Yesterday.
That's how the director of this movie felt. Great, we'll film more stuff, less editing.
The bright blue sky
All right, we got about 20 minutes of people doing stuff. Let's go roll some B-roll.
Here's some swamp. We need more swamp footage. So yeah, thanks for listening, everyone. Check us out on Twitter.
At Super Film Quest.
Or on Facebook. The name is Super Film Quest because we are Super Film Quest. I'm Joe. Who are you guys?
I'm Mike. Brady.
I'm Josh.
I'm Herb.
I'm Herb. I'm Herb. Herb.
Make sure you stop by Foulk, Arkansas. Be careful, though. You might not even recognize you driving through it. We'll be the ones with the bottles of urine hanging off the trees.
I'm off to the cafe.
A Super Film Quest thanks go out to Toon Foods for allowing us to use their songs Great A and Back Home. People like you make our podcast better.